Hi, this is Torin Talks, and today I'm going to be talking about Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode number 8, Hardhome. We kick it off in Meereen with Daenerys, Tyrion, and Jorah. You have them standing before Daenerys trying to make their case as to why she shouldn't just murder them, I guess. Tyrion makes his case pretty well. He tells Daenerys a bunch of truth that she needed to hear, especially about Jorah Mormont. He didn't trust Daenerys enough to tell her the truth, which is why he lied. But he shouldn't have lied, and she shouldn't kill him because he is devoted to her, and you can't just go around murdering people who are willing to live and die and be devoted to your cause. But you also can't have him around mucking stuff up. So they get rid of Jorah. Jorah goes to the fighting pits, and he has grayscale. He has nothing else left to live for, so he's just like, yeah, let's do this. Give me a sword, and I'm just gonna go out. I think the reason why Tyrion made such a great case for himself was because he didn't allow himself to be intimidated by Daenerys, because if you've noticed, everyone that has come to interact with her, they have been intimidated, from Hizdahr, the guy in Yunkai, everyone that she's come across since she has acquired her dragons and the Unsullied has pretty much been intimidated by her, and Tyrion isn't like that, and I think she needed that, and I think that's kind of why she kept him around, because he's like, I got all this and this dude's not scared of me. And you see that continue when they are having the conversation, when they're at the table and they're having wine, and he's saying that we have a lot of similarities. We are the terrible children of terrible men, and I love the parallel of Tywin and Aerys, not only to each other, but also in the context between Tyrion and Daenerys, because Tywin was Hand of the King to Mad King Aerys, and then you have Tyrion, who is essentially going to be the Hand of the Queen for Daenerys. So I love that similarity as well. Tyrion advises her and tells her that it was a good move for her to marry Hizdahr and open the pits, but she needs to get the ruling part down. And part of that is playing ball with the rich people. You can't rule without the rich. She tried that in Meereen, and she's seeing that is an epic fail. He's telling her in Westeros, you're going to need some great houses on your side, and he starts naming the ones that are going to back her, which is probably maybe the Tyrells, maybe, and everyone else is going to just be like, no. So she really going to need Tyrion's advice when it comes to taking over Westeros, because Westeros is not Essos, and even in Essos, she's seen without the great families of Meereen, the Sons of the Harpy were wreaking havoc, and the common people, they weren't doing jack. You're gonna need people with the money on your side. I'm excited to see what these two are gonna be doing together, and I want to see more of them before the season is over. Then we head over to King's Landing, and my girl Cersei is just not having it. She is still not confessing jack to the High Sparrow. The Septa's coming there, beating her in the head and throwing her water on the ground, and she's still like, I'm not bound to that idiot. And Cersei's just defiant. She's just not having it, man. I'm proud that she's sticking to her guns, but it might be futile. But hey, it's Cersei. So Qyburn comes in and he tells her that he sent word to Jaime, hasn't heard anything back from Jaime. Pycelle called Kevin over from Casterly Rock, and he is ruling the small council. Tommen is just despondent. He won't eat, he won't see anyone, and he's just a mess. Cersei knows she has to get out of the situation to get back to her son. Qyburn urges her to confess, and she's like, no. And he tells her that the work still continues, so he is still on his Frankenstein mission. And yeah, Qyburn is just pretty creepy. I want to revel in Cersei finally getting her just due, but at the same time, I just want her to get through this and come out of it. I really do. Then we go over to Braavos with Arya, and we see that she is way better at the Game of Faces than she was the first time. She only gets hit once compared to the beating that Jaqen H'ghar was giving her when she was trying it the first time. So Arya has a cover of Lana, an oyster seller, and she goes through the canals and the alleys, making her way around the town selling oysters. And as she's telling her little story, there's a cat that crosses her path, which is a nod to her alias in the books, Cat of the Canal. So I like that little touch. But she goes on and she ends up at the docks and she observes a thin man who does shady business with sailors and whatnot. And Jaqen gives her the assignment that she needs to take this guy out. Arya is ready to become a faceless man, so she's getting her first crack at it. Wave comes in after Arya leaves and says to Jaqen, I don't think she's ready, and Jaqen's like, it's all the same to the many-faced god. I feel that he's just kind of like, yeah, whatever happened, we'll deal with it. Arya looked great. I loved her little hair. I loved her costume. I loved all the hustle and bustle of Bravos. And I was really excited to see her out and about and, doing her thing. Then we head up to the north. You have Sansa and Reek knocking it out of the park yet again. She is confronting him and asking him, why did he do this? First of all, why did he snitch on her? Why did he kill her brothers? And he just tells her he deserves to be Reek. He deserves it because of everything he's done and everything that's happened because of what he's done. And he finally tells Sansa that Bran and Rickon are alive, that he did not kill them, and he killed 2 farm boys in their place. And that just sparked Sansa. I feel like it gave her a new purpose, that she has a sense of agency, that she needs to get out of this situation so she can go find her family. And she really needed that. And I feel like this is just going to empower Sansa even more to take control of her life and take control of the situation. The performance between these two, I just love their scenes together because it's just so great. And this is another great scene. Ramsay and Roose having a conversation. And Roose tells him the Stannis' army is approaching, but they have enough provisions and everything inside of Winterfell to withstand a siege for 6 months, and they're probably going to be dead in the snow by then, so Roose isn't really worried about Stannis and his army. And Ramsay is saying this is an opportunity for House Bolton to show the North what happens if a Southern king or anyone tries to stand up against House Bolton. So he needs 20 good guys to go, over to Stannis' camp and try to wreck some things. So I don't know if he's going to make a play for Stannis or if he's just going to be stealthing around trying to cause some havoc, but the fact that Ramsay was smiling knows that somebody else is going to be in for a world of pain. So watch out, Stannis and company. Like, this dude's not playing. He's God mode for some reason in this series. So, you never know. Then we head over to Castle Black, and you have Ollie and Sam having a conversation. He comes to Sam for some advice because he doesn't understand why Jon wants to go get the wildlings when the wildlings do nothing but kill them, and they kill his entire family and everyone he's ever met, so he doesn't really understand. Sam tells him, wildlings are people just like us. There's good and bad, but we all have to stick together right now, and sometimes you gotta do the right thing even though other people don't understand it. And you see the wheels in Ollie's head start turning. So I've been saying that kid's shifty on a mission, and I stick by that. And here we go. So, that kid's gonna do something. I can feel it. Then we head over to Hardhome. You have Jon and Tormund and the rest of the Night's Watch guys making it to Hardhome, and they are confronted by Rattleshirt, Lord of Bones, and he's giving Tormund all this grief about being with the Night's Watch guys, and Tormund just has enough of his shit, and he just takes a stick and beats the Lord of Bones to death in front of everyone, so no one's messing with Tormund. And they meet with all of these wildling elders and leaders, and there is a woman that is introduced named Karsi. She was great in this episode. I loved her character. I cared more about her character in this 25-minute span that she was on the show than some characters that have been around like multiple seasons. So she was written fantastic. The actress was fantastic. There is also a scene when Jon is at the Wildling Elder hut.
I lost my father, my uncle, and 2 brothers fighting the damn crows.
I'm not asking you to forget your dead. I'll never forget mine.
And I love that line by Kit. He killed it in this episode. And I just thought that was so great because you think about all the people he's lost. You think about Ned and Rob and Ygritte and his Night Watch brothers. And I love that line. It was just so great. Some of the wildlings agree to come with Jon. Some of them are like, no, fuck you. We hate crows. We're staying where we are. So the people split up, and the ones that are going decide to get moving. And the ones that are staying are just kind of hanging around. You hear the dogs start going crazy. Then this fog just covers the entire area, and you know the showdown's about to happen. They shut the gates when they see the fog rolling in because they don't know what's about to happen, and then you hear nothing but silence. The music, the way the music and sound and ambiance was handled in this episode was phenomenal, and it lent a lot to each scene to give that super creepy, chilling, like intense, scary effect. So the whites start attacking like crazy. Key things that I liked from the Hardhome battle: the shot of the White Walkers on their horses on top of the hill. It was very Four Horsemen apocalypse. I love the scene with Jon Snow versus the White Walker when he goes back to the hut for the dragon glass. Him and that Thin, and they get in there. The White Walker kills the Thin, tossing Jon around like a rag doll. Jon gets Longclaw, and his blade meets the White Walker's blade, and it doesn't shatter. The White Walker is just as shocked as Jon. Then Jon does a little move and kills that guy. And then you see the camera pan up to the Night's King, who is watching the whole deal go down. So he sees that Jon has a sword that can do some damage to them, and he's keeping his eye on him. Valyrian steel is dragon steel because it did kill that White Walker. So that is a huge thing that it was confirmed. You have Carsey is fighting, doing her thing. She put her children on the boat, got them to safety, and since she had like a little heartwarming moment, I knew that she was gonna bite the dust. And you see she has to go down by these white children, and they were creepy as hell. I mean, regular children are bad enough, but these children are even creepier. And she couldn't do anything, and they get the better of her. Another great scene from the Hardhome battle was when all the whites were on top of the hill, and they just start running out and just diving off the hill, and they're just hitting the ground, and then they just pop up and start attacking people and start killing and slaughtering. And I thought that scene was great. The whole entire time I was watching the Hardhome segment of the episode, I didn't speak. It was just nerve-shattering, like silence. It was just so nerve-wracking, so intense, and I loved every minute of it. All the defenses of Hardhome eventually break down, and they gotta get the hell out of there while they can. And I think a fourth of all the people that were still there is all that made it out. Most of the people did not make it out of Hardhome. Jon and Tormund run into the boat trying to get out of there. They make it on the boat. You have one that survived. I'm super happy that he was in the show. And he was just smashing whites and flipping them and flinging them around, and had a big old branch swinging it. He was great. I loved everything. His scene with Ed, and he's like, yeah, fuck off. I love, like, what the fuck you looking at? Like, I love that scene. The Night's King comes to the edge of the dock, and he's looking at Jon. He knows he's the one that killed that White Walker, and he's just doing a show of power. He just raises his arms, and all the people that were currently dead just rise up. So all the wildlings and stuff that got killed are now part of the White Walker White Army. Jon was just shot, like, stunned, like he could, like, gosh, like, how are we gonna survive this? That's just what his face, the expression on his face, that's what it was. He let them go to show them that this is their fate, like, this is their future. So you can run, but you can't hide, type of thing. And White Walker's just like, yeah, like, what's up? Come at me, bro. And then the episode ends in silence. And I thought that was a perfect choice. I just sat there in the silence. Like, I didn't say anything while the credits rolled. While I saw the preview for the next episode, I just sat there because it was that intense. And it was an adrenaline pumping episode. Probably the best episode they had this season so far. And I don't have any bad thing to say about the episode. I love the shot that when they first rode into Hardhome, you see this establishing shot of the city. You see all the people bustling around, and they show the same exact shot while John and Tormund and everyone else that got away are leaving, and that whole entire city is still very heavily populated, but now all those people are dead and part of the White Walker army. And I thought that was a perfect parallel to show like what's in the future for Westeros. The White Walker fight kind of trivialized everything else that is going on in Westeros. It's like, yeah, I like Cersei, but I don't care. Like, I don't care about these people. Like, I need to know how they're gonna stop this army of freaking White Walkers. That is the real problem. Get focused, people. This episode, all gold stars all around, A++, and I'm super excited for the next 2 episodes of the season, and I feel like they're gonna be just as good, hoping. But this one was phenomenal. Loved Hardhome. So thank you for watching my Hardhome video, episode number 8, and I will see you in the next one. Also, I have a video on the Night's King that I'm gonna link over here. So if you want to know more about that guy, you can just watch that video, and thank you for watching.